It's been since 1991 since De La Salle has lost a North Coast section game. The Mustangs are hosting the Spartans. Will it be tonight? You'll find out next. Welcome to Sam Zackheim Memorial Field on the campus of Monte Vista High School as we have a non-league matchup between East Bay athletic teams. Yeah, figure that out. As the Monte Vista Mustangs host the De La Salle Spartans. I'm Chris Babcock, and happy Friday wherever you may be for this matchup. And I'm joined by my broadcast partner, Craig Bergman, and Coach. De La Salle 22-1 in the 23 matchups against the Mustangs. The first time these teams played was in 1986. Then, of course, in 1987 was the lone Mustang win in the NCS Championship at the Coliseum. Schools didn't play again until 1993, and then our run started playing them in the early 2000s. But it's a tough matchup against De La Salle, and talk about how tough and how were the games won with the Spartans up front.
You know, they do such a nice job with their offensive and defensive lines. They're not normally the biggest, but they're extremely strong. They're extremely quick. They've got a bunch of what we would call linebacker-type guys that play offensive and defensive line, and they utilize their speed and their strength, and that's always been a tough thing for all teams in this area to match up with. A lot of the guys that play O-line and D-line for them are such good athletes. If they were at one of our schools, they'd probably be playing a skill position for us. But when you have those types of kids playing up there, it makes it awfully difficult for teams to play.
And so in the history of the program, they've had obviously a lot of players that have filled the college and the NFL level. But some of those tweener players you were talking about that maybe have gone to Monte Vista might be playing a skill position at De La Salle and running the offense and defense. It all is the key is up front. And speaking of up front, we lost a really good man, Steve Jacoby, longtime De La Salle defensive line coach, suddenly passed last Thursday, October 19th. Steve made everyone better, a very positive and energetic coach, father, and a valued member of the community. And Coach Bob Ladisor said it best, I believe, he'd do anything for the kids. And, Coach, we coached against Steve for several years, and he was always classy but yet competitive. But I know you've got a strong relationship. And that's his last game of coaching for the Spartans. And you talk about the defensive line, was Steve's specialty.
Steve and I, we went back 30 years, and since his days at St. Mary's, and we've been very close, and we've worked together, and we've been good friends for a long time, and this one hurts very, very badly. You cannot find a better person, better human being than Steve Jacoby. He was a great coach, but he's an even better person. And the impact he's made on so many people, obviously the De La Salle football team, but there's countless others that he's had a huge impact on, including myself. He's the kind of guy that you wanted to be around, and he's the kind of guy that should be leading young kids. Terrible loss for everybody. My heart goes out to the family of Steve and also the De La Salle kids that have all played for him. Just a terrific person who's going to be missed dearly.
So the Spartans are 6-2 in their last game. They beat El Cerrito 31-12. in just a crazy week for the De La Salle community after Foothill got the De La Salle flu and forfeited just canceled the game. The Spartans are run-orientated, 22% pass, 78% run, coached by Justin Allenbaugh, a 1998 grad, started coaching for Ladd in 1999, and then took over in 2013. It's his 11th season as head coach. And then the home team, the Monte Vista Mustangs, it's senior night for them in their all-black uniforms. They are 4-4, and they had a tough game last week, losing to Clayton Valley 39-35. Coach, they led 35-27 going into the fourth quarter, but the Eagles outscored them 12-zip in the fourth. They had the ball at the end of the game but couldn't get the TD to run for the win. But the stat that concerns me, they gave up 532 yards of offense and several big plays that they have to correct tonight.
Well, defensively, the last few weeks, we've seen some holes in the Monte Vista defense, and I think they have to do a better job of shoring those things up and becoming a little bit more sound on both ends, on the front end and the back end of the defense. They've missed a lot of tackles, they've blown some coverages, and they've given up some untimely plays that have resulted in touchdowns. And you need to make that team work for it. If they're going to go on a 8 to 10 to 11, 12 play drive to score a touchdown, then God bless them, they've earned it. Don't give them a cheap one. We always talked about that before every game. Don't give them a cheap one. Don't give up the big play. Make them earn it.
So the Mustangs 4-4, 1-2 in the East Bay Athletic League. They're scoring over 33 points a game, giving up just over 24. But in the losses this season, they're giving up on an average of just nearly 35 points a game. So they got to shore some things tonight. Yes, there's a young team, but there's a lot of seniors, and in particular, one that's always been impressive. And these guys aren't the people scoring touchdowns. But first of all, it's number 10, Talon Jones.
Talon Jones has been a stud all year long. And if there's been a very bright spot on defense, it's been Talon. Every time there's a play to be made, he's always around the ball. And he's a solid tackler. He's the epitome, or the epitome, as you would like to say,
coacher,
of a solid football player.
Mistake yet. No, Talon's fantastic.
Very happy for him. Great kid. Been a terrific football player for the Mustangs.
He loves contact, so we would expect Talon would be playing rugby at the collegiate level. But I think also I'm going to give Talon some credit for getting the sophomore Torrin Dunphy better. The sophomore showing a little flickering of a guy that's playing for the Falcons, Nate Lamb, he loves football. 50 tackles on the season. He made a lot of plays last week. But unfortunately, those are deep downfield when they're giving up big plays off defensively to Clayton Valley.
If you watch from the beginning of the year till now, the steady progress he's made defensively, he's a sponge. You can see that he's just got a lot of natural football instinct, and he's a terrific kid. I got a chance to know him as a freshman last year, and he also coached flag football. He's the kind of kid you want to coach. He's going to listen. He's going to do everything you ask him to do, and he's certainly not going to. He's going to make mistakes. But he's going to make them going full speed, and he's going to make them doing what you want him to do.
That's all you can ask for. So the Mustangs and the Spartans, and there's a lot of white jerseys. This is like almost a home game for De La Salle. A lot of kids from Danville, and they'll walk out, and we'll introduce our officials. A referee is Justin Bigler. Umpire is Barry Collins. Line judge is. Boy, he's been doing it since we've been coaching. Morgan Lakin. Wiley Pond is the head linesman, and Jason Smith is the back judge. That might be Willie Pond. Send your letters to Gavin Newsom if I'm wrong. Not Gavin Bergman. So the captains are at midfield. And the key to competing against the Spartans, coach, is shortening this game tonight and being efficient when you're out there, and don't give up the cheapie. They don't have a lot of touchdown passes this year, but I got a feeling that Coach Allenbaugh will try to exploit that tonight.
Well, I believe he'll do that, and we've always talked about it in the past, too. They've always got a strong special teams, and one of the things that we always made a point of was don't kick to them. And they don't have the dynamic player this year that they've had in years past where you were afraid to kick the ball to them, they could take it. But still, they've got very capable people back there in special teams. You got to keep the ball away from them.
And we've seen some dynamic returns, the throwback, all sorts of things. So you've got to play hard, but you've also got to be honest to yourself and have perspective. So the Spartans will get the ball to start the game, and I believe we're getting ready to have the national anthem. About 61 degrees, and I didn't bring the sweatshirt in when I walked in originally, Coach, but then I remembered when the sun goes down, we've got that body of water out there, and Coach is wearing pants. Of course, I would be very uncomfortable to honor America, our national anthem.
Thank you. Now our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Our national anthem. And we appreciate our partners that have allowed us to bring you 5 Monte Vista home games this year. Ned Milan at Morgan Stanley. Spitz Jewelers. Persevere Lending. American Asphalt. And my favorite deli in the world, Parma Deli and Catering. Jungie will kick off to the Spartans. They're in their road whites. Jaden Jefferson is one of the deep receivers. And I believe Jonathan Guerrero. And we're underway here from Danville. And he kicks it right to the returner. It'll be a middle return for the Spartans. And the Mustangs do a pretty good job of rallying up. And the Spartans will start this drive on their own 26-yard line. So we'll check the personnel. And, Coach, you know their offensive line and their rolling California start. We'll see. We'll get an isolation of it, but we'll still get that. We'll come back on a replay. But you can see you got to come to a stop for one complete second. Double tights split backs for the Spartans. It's a play action pass. We're not surprised by this call, and it's over the top, and it's incomplete. They weren't surprised either. Good defense by the Mustangs. Cody Rhodes, who had the Monte Vista first interception of the season last
Great job.
week.
Ball's underthrown a little bit. Gives Cody an opportunity to come back and make a play. He was beaten by 2 or 3 steps right there. Should have been a touchdown if he throws it out there. But nice job of recovering and getting a hand on the ball.
You didn't panic.
Didn't
A lot
panic.
of times you get beat, you panic, and then it's a pass interference. Now, I formation for the Spartans, single receiver at the bottom of your screen, and it's a little wham play, and the Spartans will pick up give them 8 yards on initial contact.
Just a solid ISO right here. They're going to lead up with the fullback and just move the pile and try to impose their will on the Monte Vista defensive line. And 9 yards on a run on second down really, really puts them in a spot that they like.
So may rest in peace, Mickey Wharton, but it's Z in the knee tonight. You got to have a low pad level against the Spartans, and they run the simple dive, and the Spartans will move the chains. Dominic Kelly's got 579 yards and 5 touchdowns on the season. They don't have they have a lot of guys that can touch the football, but in particular their quarterback, Faves, has 3 touchdowns, a couple interceptions, but he's run for 376 yards and 9 touchdowns. Offset eye for De La Salle with Twins formation. Quarterback keeper around the edge, and it's not sealed, and it's another 9-yard gain for the Spartans.
Just a straight quarterback run all the way. There was no run-pass option right there. Lead up with the back, 2 backs, in fact. You got a receiver out here with the back, that lead block, and they pull the guard out. Just an outside run play is all it is. They basically are playing with 3 running backs in the backfield when you put a quarterback
That's
that runs
a takedown
that way.
by the left tackle. Hands outside the shoulder pads. Split backs for the Spartans, and they're looking to throw the hitch route, and it's complete for a first down. Short pickup, doesn't matter. The Spartans will move the change. Parker Belkey, the senior receiver, with the catch.
And, Coach, you talk about the rolling start that they've done for years. They predominantly use it when they're running the veer, when they want to move forward with the lineman, not when they're going to run laterally. And we'll go over the rule here in a bit after the play.
It's 3-by-1 set. The Spartans break formation, and it's a bubble screen out here. And good blocking in space, and it's another first down for De La Salle.
Well, they take advantage of the numbers right here.
You got to make the plays out in space and win the one-on-one battles, and so far the Spartans receivers doing a good job of blocking downfield.
Well, when they have such a strong running game, you're kind of forced to commit to the box and put extra guys in there. And they look right there. They had a 3-by-1 set, and they had the numbers on the outside. Take advantage of it. That's really tough to defend when you can run the ball effectively.
Mass substitutions for the Spartans. They'll continue with this 3-by-1 set, and it's a play-action pass and a seam route, and the Mustangs have good coverage. Nice coverage there by Braden Breedlove, another senior playing his last home game for Monte Vista. Just a seam route looks like here, Coach.
Just a seam route, well covered. I mean, actually a poor decision by the quarterback to throw it into coverage right there. And I think that's one of the things that De La Salle had a problem with, talking to Coach Allenbaugh, is throwing into coverage and making mistakes like that. And if you're going to throw the ball, those are the things you can't do. When you run the ball that effectively, be efficient with the pass.
Ace formation, double tights, 2 receivers split out, and it's counter, and it's a big hole for De La Salle. And when their running game is picking up 8 or 9 yards, and they're able to – this is totally out of their realm of what they've been doing all season. 22% pass, 78% run, but they've been throwing the ball with a lot of confidence, and they know for the long road down, they've got to be able to throw the football.
Yeah, when they start playing some of the big boys from Southern California, if they can't throw the ball, it'll be a long evening.
Dive option, and another 5-yard chunk.
We talked about the rolling start, and the rule is you're supposed to be set for a full count. And I specifically remember.
We'd see if
Well, here they start down anyway because it's going to be a first count. But when they start with their hands on their knees and they snap down to a 3-point stance, they're supposed to be set for a full count. And I asked the official, "What's a full count?" And he said 1,001. Well, you guys watch when they do that, and you tell me if it's a full count.
They'll, again, in the double tight ace formation, and it's a play-action pass, and should have been intercepted. The sophomore got into the passing lane, Dunphy, and that one ricocheted off his hands, but watch the linebacker, 44, read this like a book. And the Cardinal sin, coach, rolling right and throwing it back left.
Trying to throw back across your body. For a lefty, obviously going to the right, which they don't do very often. They tend to roll him out left, just like because he is left-handed. If he's going to make decisions like that, as a coach, it makes you really scared to call plays like that again, knowing that he'll throw into coverage. So that could work to Monte Vista's benefit.
Fave just junior run up the middle, and it'll be enough for a first down. They'll move the chains as the Spartans started this drive on their own 25, have been methodically moving the ball down the field.
But Monte Vista's done it. We talked earlier about trying to lengthen or shorten the game.
Right.
And they're forcing them to go on a 5-minute drive to score. It's not that quick one that we've seen in the past. It's forcing them to use clock. Monte Vista's going to have to counter with a long drive themselves.
Split left twins for the Winton and Treat Spartoonies. And Monte Vista's lined up offsides. They've done that way too much. You're struggling as it is on defense, and then you line up offsides and you give this vaunted running game a free 5 yards.
And this is right here where they'll come out and they'll go quick off the ball because they know that they just got us in an offside, so they can take advantage of that, and there they go.
Counter. Mustangs do a pretty good job if it was 1st and 10, but it was 1st and 5, and it's like a 7-yard gain, although they only got 2.
You can't make those mistakes. It doesn't matter who you're playing. You can't. There's no excuse for lining up offsides in the neutral zone. You're right there, especially a defensive lineman. You're on the ball. You're 2 yards from the ball. You can see where it is. Don't line up offsides.
Blanche, number 22, 5 TDs on the season. He's got over 400 yards coming into the game. And it's a dive, and the Mustang defensive line is running right by the running back, not controlling those gaps. And when they do that, the interior guys are able to get to the second level on their blocks.
You know, they're standing too tall. They've got to get their pad level down. One thing I noticed when San Ramon played a couple of weeks ago, they had some success stopping that way, submarining and taking those linemen out and getting lower than them. It was an opportunity for their linebackers to run free. Monte Vista might want to try a little bit of that. Not sure if they have that in their game plan this week.
1st and goal for De La Salle at the 2-yard line. And it's touchdown. De La Salle. Dominic Kelly with his 6th tug of the season. And Sepik will be on to attempt his 22nd PAT of the season. He is perfect on the year. So the Mustangs didn't give up the big play, but that 5-yard penalty, very crucial. But Kelly with another junior for the Spartans with his 6th touchdown of the season. The kick is up, and it's good. And the Spartans take the first drive of the game for nearly a 6-minute and 1-second drive. De La Salle 7, Monte Vista nothing. You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV. Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by American Asphalt, is brought to you in part by Ned Milan and Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life by maximizing your potential for meeting life goals. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for over 75 years in Walnut Creek. Persevere Lending, we have capital available for you. And American Asphalt, taking care of business in the Bay Area for over 40 years. Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by American Asphalt, is brought to you in part by Ned Milan and Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life by maximizing your potential for me. And the Spartans kick off, and the Mustangs fumble it around the 6-yard line. and not a good return whatsoever for the Mustangs. Breedlove didn't catch first. He tried to run first, and the Mustangs will start with their football on their own 9-yard line. So what can we expect from the Spartans on defense?
You know, De La Salle has always been predictable with their defense. They've usually run a four-man front, what we call a 4-4 and a 4-3. Depends on what the down and distance. On first down, they like to run 3 deep coverage. On when you have the later downs, they like to run 4-3 2 deep coverage.
So the Mustangs have to be aware of the guy that just made the tackle in the backfield, number 51, Chris Biller. Now, his uncle, Chris, was, we'll get into him later, was quite a football player. But this young man gets off the football. He's got 6.5 sacks on the season, 16 TFLs, now give him 17 and 40 tackles. Again, he was one of those guys we talked about in the pregame show. He's not going to pass the airport test, but he's got that 6'1" body, gets off the football and plays with great pad level.
And if you watch his explosion, and he's got terrific strength, a lot like his uncle did. I mean, they're almost a spitting image of each other. Pad level, strength, and he just gets in the backfield and creates havoc, kind of like he did right there. He's a tough guy to block. You're certainly not at a disadvantage size-wise, but speed-wise and strength-wise, he's a tough matchup.
I saw as soon as he walked in the gate today, I saw him and I was like, okay, he's a biller, and he plays with great pad level. And the Mustangs, 2 plays, negative yardage, and it'll be 3rd and 11, and the Mustangs will break formation and they'll go empty, which is not a bad set against De La Salle. They'll press at the slot though, so Ford and company needs to get off the release, and they don't. It's a deep ball. He's got him, and it's incomplete.
Really nice job by De La Salle coming up between the hands. We got a penalty here. Might have a little pass interference or a hold.
Jonathan Guerrero with the coverage on the 50-50 ball.
Really good decision by Braden of where to go with the football right there. Get it up outside. They're in a 2 deep coverage.
It's a holding on the Mustangs.
It's a holding on the Mustangs. No holding on the Spartans.
I was wrong. I like being wrong there. So the Mustangs, but it's not an automatic first. Oh, it is an automatic first. I get confused on the rules with the high school.
No, it's not an automatic first.
So I was right. I was feeling
correct.
bad.
You were correct.
My 2 favorite words. I digress. So it'll be 3rd and 1, so the down won't count. But the Mustangs got to get a good pad level and get off the football. And it's tough to run the stretch offense against their edge guys because they love to get up the field. And at 57, they've got a lot of good players. So the Mustangs will trade tight end. And it's 28 reach, and McMahon runs out of bounds, and they're nowhere close to getting the first down.
I really like to see Julian right there. Get up the field. Put your nose in there and try and get that first down. Looks like it's close. It's close anyway, but it looks like they're going to give him the first down. I think he's got to finish that run and try and get the extra yards instead of running out of bounds, hoping that you're going to get that first down.
My apologies for going Joe Starkey and pre-calling it before the officials. So the Mustangs get their initial first down of the game. They're in a 3-by-1 set. Shahada, Breedlove, Ford, and McMahon on the draw. And he picks up 15 yards. And when you talk about Julian McMahon getting north and south, because he's a load.
You know, the guards have got to do a better job of not allowing that penetration. They can't let him get up the field that far. They got to knock him out. Julian really did a nice job of getting up the field there and getting the extra 2 or 3 yards.
Mustangs will inline Ford. And you got Shahada and Breedlove at the bottom of your screen and Clausen at the top of your screen. Mustangs, and they're all blacks tonight. Turner had the 0-4 route or 2 route to Ford, and ran into Braden today walking in. And I said, Don't be afraid to use your feet to move the didn't move the chains, but a positive gain on first down. And getting down.
And that's a little bit. They take a page out of San Ramon right there. San Ramon really didn't have much success throwing the football, but their quarterback scrambling really hurt De La Salle. And that's really what kept them in the game and gave them the opportunity to win it because their quarterback scrambling. They did not have success, as I said, throwing it. They did have a lot of success with the quarterback scrambling, and that's a page right out of that book right there.
2-by-2 set. Breedlove in motion towards the Monte Vista bench, and it's a trap. And McMahon's got to get up the field. He does there and picks up another first down for Monte Vista. I want to talk about Julian, coach, as we watch the replay. He's having the best season for a Monte Vista running back in 8 years. A guy that we coached and was a great football player. Shane Perry ran for over 1,600 yards and 20 touchdowns on our NCS championship team. Julian has 2 games left, and he's already got 1,000 yards rushing, 18 touchdowns.
And great job. He started to run sideways, but then he heard you. He heard his coaches. He heard a lot of people yelling at him to get up the field, and he did.
So the Mustangs trying to make this a 2-drive first quarter. Turner taking a deep shot. Not the most accurate pass, but put it in a position where only his teammate can make the catch.
It looks like he slowed down a little bit right there. You cannot slow down on that if you have the opportunity. Breedlove, if you look at the replay, he doesn't think he's going to get by him. Braden throws it to the spot where he should be, and he accelerates, but it's too late. You can't slow down, and that's always a killer for a quarterback. When you throw a good ball to a spot where only he can catch it, but he's not running the route full speed.
Trust your teammate. Leave it all on the field. It'll be 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Turner. And it's a screen, and the Spartans have it figured out. It should be just an incomplete pass. But staying at home, Talona didn't get blocked, traced back to steps, and didn't give any room for Turner, but he made a good decision just to throw it into the game. There's a good look at Coach Millard and Joey Wingert, the offensive coordinator. It's 3rd and 10, and what you have to remember here, don't force it. It's okay to punt. Not trying to give up here, but be smart.
And I'd like to see Braden do a little bit better job on setting that screen up. He never really hit his back foot, stepped up. It didn't look like a pass. It looked like a screen the whole way, and they obviously read that.
3rd and 10, the Spartans blitz. It's a 5 route. You get held, and how's that not pass interference? All over Shahada. Hopefully we
got a grab right there at the top of that route. He certainly good decision, good timing. Ball sailed on him a little bit, but you probably can't see it from this angle, but you get a tug of the jersey coming out of that break, and that certainly kept him from getting an opportunity to catch that ball.
So the Mustangs will punt. Jungi inside the 10-yard line. The Mustangs need to break down. They don't, and we've got a flag on the field. This one's coming back. No, actually, that's just the lacrosse mark. But the ball's inside the 20-yard line. No flag, my mistake. But the Mustangs don't break down in space, so instead of having them at the 12-yard line, the Spartan returner gets out to the 32, and they're in business. And you got to expect them to take a shot here, maybe with a post route over the top.
Yeah, they're going to look out here and see the numbers, and you got a lot of one-on-one matchups out here. You can take your pick.
Finally, the quarterback picks up 7.
It's the same play you saw him run to the left right there. They're obviously taking advantage of their quarterback in the run game, and I don't know if Coach Allenbaugh has a lot of confidence right now in his quarterback. He's seen him throw 2 balls that probably should have been picked.
Should have been.
And you've had success running the ball, and knowing him, if he can run the ball, he's going to run the ball. And, obviously he will attempt a few passes down the road, but I don't think he has a lot of confidence in his quarterback throwing the ball right now.
So they're 22% pass, 78% run, scoring at 21.5 points a game. And they got shut out earlier this season by Sarah. And there he goes. Jefferson with the last play.
62 yards.
And hold the bus. Nope. It's probably a coach's warning. Yep, sideline warning. Jefferson goes 62 yards. And Price gets caught in between there. 62-yard run and goes untouched into the end zone on the last play of the first quarter. We'll replay it after this, and Coach can break down the Mustangs. When you get upfield, you leave room right behind you. Sepik, perfect on the season on PATs. And that continues. Let's watch. We got the play again. Joseph would be great. On the last play of the quarter.
Right there, the angle that you got to take a little bit better angle right there, especially when you know you're dealing with a lot of speed out there. You can see that they had the numbers on the outside on that, and once they got to the edge, there was no pursuit there to get him.
So our Mustang family got bigger yesterday. We got a text from Coach Millard last night. Christina and Johnny Millard welcomed in their second child, Ryan Keith Millard, over 8 pounds, 20 and a half inches, and according to Dad, is already running a 4.57 40-yard crawl. Congratulations to the Millards, and you already won the week. And talking to Grandpa Keith before the game, boy, did he have a big smile on his face.
I'm still wondering, he's yet to answer my question about whether he's going to have as many kids as his mom and dad did. I believe he is the oldest or second oldest of 9 kids.
Yep.
So he's got a long ways to go to catch his mom and dad.
Yes, he does.
I'm surprised that Keith didn't have 2 more to field the full team.
Yes, he loves his football. He's a great man. He still scares me. I mean, we're running into him up at the NFL Alumni Golf Tournament, and now that he's here coaching, and boy, just a stud of a player. Washington State then just sent the fear of God into Candlestick Park with Chris Dolman in a playoff game. So the Mustangs see if they can get a little bit better return here. Breedlove picks up 22 yards.
I'd like a huge shout out to a listener in New York, a watcher in New York, my daughter, Lindsay.
Oh.
Watching from New York City.
That's La Familia.
And it's a good thing she's not here, because normally what she does, she just takes a couple of selfies and then stops paying attention to the game.
Well, Lindsay Lou's the best. Speaking of 3 kids.
She's a big front runner, too. She only watches the teams that she thinks are going to win.
How did you feel after the Oregon-Washington game? I digress. Mustangs with the football on their own 22-yard line. Ford pulls here, Coach, but pullers run. Pullers don't stand in the hole, and hopefully we get a replay of that and be able to diagram.
Didn't get much of a kick-out block. Monte Vista's got to have to stick with the quick hitters, the traps, and a little bit of misdirection, maybe some draws like they have. They've had success so far doing
like
that.
They get penetration, right?
Tough to get any push on a double team up front against De La Salle, unless you're St. John Bosco.
Fleet formation, play action pass, and it's a quick hitch but sometimes you just got to hit those, take what the defense gives you. It picks up 4 yards, and it'll make a manageable 3rd and 6.
You know, that's a good play, though. Got about half of it back. Put yourself in a situation where you can get the first down. You don't want to have 3rd and 10. If you notice on that last play, you're going to see a lot of twists out of De La Salle's front. What we call an in-tackle twist or a tackle-end twist. It depends on which guy goes first and which guy loops. But you'll see a lot of that, specifically in passing situations. Usually they tip it. They get very close together. and you can tell it's coming.
Spartans have 13 sacks on the season. Turner's got a receiver and just needs to put a little bit more air onto it. In coverage there was Jefferson, who just ran for 62-yard touchdown. Everything's thrown with timings, got protection. It just needs a little bit more air on that football. But the Mustangs will come out and don't get a first down, and they'll have to punt again.
Hey, good job getting the ball out of his hand. He's done a nice job of that so far, not holding it. You know you're not going to get a lot of time to throw. So you want to get things in and out of your hand, and nice play call by Coach Wingert, the last two, the quick hitter that they got 5 on, and then that one there we got it out of his hands after a quick 5-step drop.
Guerrero is back deep, and he'll come up and catch this around his own 45-yard line and returned, and we've got a flag, and that's going to be a delay of game.
I believe it was a fair catch. I saw his hand go up a little bit. Enough to that the Monte Vista player eased up on it.
If they got the call here, the clock should be stopped. The clock's been going to zeros and back and forth. It seems like it's been all season long. So we've got a block in the back. So the Spartans will start their offense in their own territory, probably right around the 33-yard line when everything shakes out. .9:51 in the second. The Spartans have scored on the 2 times they've touched the football. I formation, and it's a 24 lead.
And a new quarterback in the game.
And that is Braden Knight, number 27, sophomore. I think John Hadel was 21 back in the day, aging us.
Doug Flutie, 22.
Very good.
Bernie Kosar, 20.
2-by-1 set, inside run. And Talon Jones does a great job of filling there. Number 10 right in the middle of the screen.
And this is an opportunity for Monte Vista to get off the field and to make something happen here. Notoriously, in situations like this, they've been known to run a sprint draw, a little tight end delay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked to see them run the ball here if they consider this 4-down territory.
Brief stoppage of play.
I believe Talon Jones has got some blood that he's got to take off. They won't let you play if you have visible blood, so you got to.
He did a good job of taking on the puller and making the play, and you like not to see him off the field. It'll be 3rd and 3. I-right twins, and it's another ISO, and moving those feet on initial contact. He was behind the down to move the chains, but Kelly impresses with his feet and gets the first down.
And the physicality of De La Salle right there is really showing. Monte Vista defensive line. Carson Brown's got to get his pad level down. He stands straight up. And when you do that, nothing good is going to happen.
When they watch film, that being De La Salle on Saturday, in their 8-hour laborious practice, weightlifting, and film study, they pick up on that stuff early, and that's a pass interference. Cody Rhodes gets there a little early, and no doubt about that one. But sometimes you got to try to make a play.
He's got an opportunity to make the play. He didn't have to go through the guy to make the play. Those are the mistakes that they've been making all year long, and it just hurts them, and it puts them in these situations where you give them an easy 15 yards, and they've already moved the ball at will, and you have an opportunity. They're almost doing you a favor by throwing the football right now.
So 20 yards and penalties so far on defense for Monte Vista, and now the Spartans with their sugar huddle are 1st and 10 at Monte Vista's 39-yard line. Would expect some type of pass here in the 2-by-2 set. The throw, and it's way off mark.
Once again, I'm thanking Coach Allenbaugh when he attempts these passes if I'm Monte Vista.
Did I just see you
given us
drop
an
a thank you
opportunity.
note in the mail?
Hey, you did. And I think they're probably doing that because they know right now if it's 2nd and 10. The last 3 times they've had 2nd and 10, they've come back with just an inside ISO and moved the pile for 8-9 yards. Let's see what they do here and see if they stick with the same type of thought process.
Mass substitutions for the Spartans. Look like they've got double tights. They do. They'll go to the ace formation. Knight at quarterback. Pave got the start. And it's a run, and the sophomore is all over it and making the play.
Nice job of stringing it out here. They try and run the inside counter.
And Talon's, both linebackers get to the play, Coach.
Good push. Nice push. Defensive line got up, disrupted the pullers. That's one of the things you try and get your defensive line to do is to try and get a little penetration, disrupt the pullers. If you can disrupt the pullers in a counter trade, there's not much of a play, nowhere to run. And that's you may not tackle the guy, but as a defensive lineman, you can really mess that play up.
This play smells tight end, some type of tight end pass, 3rd and 9. And then they run counter. And the Mustangs give up. It'll be certainly 4-down territory for Coach Allenbaugh.
And all the substitutions.
We've got a player down for Monte Vista. We'll take a break. You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV. Persevere Lending, based in Danville, specializes in the brokerage of privately funded real estate loans in California with a focus on the Bay Area. Monte Vista Football Hall of Famer Damon Bauer's team at Persevere Lending can help you achieve your financing goals with their array of alternative and unique mortgage options. Damon has a 20-year track record of success and is ready to go to work for you. Go to perseverelending.com to learn about our strategic, creative, and efficient loan programs for residential and commercial properties and our safe, secure, and lucrative investment opportunities. Persevere Lending, we have capital available for you. Persevere Lending, based in Danville. Ned Milan has over 19 years of experience in the financial industry, serving individuals, their families, business owners, and corporate executives. Ned proactively helps to develop a comprehensive financial plan in order to provide the appropriate investment strategy for clients. This includes retirement and estate planning, asset management, tax planning, and liability management. Please contact 1998 Monte Vista alum Ned Milan to develop a plan for your family. Ned Milan at Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life by maximizing your potential for meeting life goals. Ned Milan has over 19 years of experience in the financial industry, serving individuals, their families, business owners. Family owned and operated since 1946 as a full-service jewelry store, Spitz Jewelers has remained true to our founding philosophies. Founded on the tradition of service, quality, and value, today we proudly continue that tradition from the smallest request to the most intricate custom design. We love what we do, and with 3 generations of success as our inspiration, we look forward to continuing these traditions into the future. Come see us at 1333 North Main Street in Walnut Creek. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for over 75 years. Go Mustangs!
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to that.
So sophomore Dakota Dixon is a player injured for Monte Vista. It's a 4th down play, and although we're early in the game, this is a big play for the Monte Vista defense. Can they get off the field on 4th down? Ave is back in a quarterback. It's a quarterback run, and he picks up the 1st down and then some. No disguising that play, Coach. Just the quarterback keeper over right to the boundary for Coach Allenbaugh.
It's a lot of bodies. It's almost a student body letter type USC play. We're going to pull the guard out around. You got the wing back and the lead back leading up for the quarterback. And it's, they do a nice job of just getting what they need.
I can't hear him. So, there's times in the games where you have to make a play. And there's 12 men on the field for De La Salle. No call. 1st and 10. And when they're doing the sideline substitution, it makes it that much more confusing. A bubble screen out here, and Breedlove's all over it.
Terrific job. Breedlove just did a wonderful job of playing through the blocker. He didn't try and go around. He played through him. You'll watch him. And does a nice job of playing through number 10 and pushes him right back. It does a good job of disrupting it, lets his players come up from that situation. Really nice job. That's what you have to do out in space is don't run around the blocker, because if you do, then the receiver will just go whatever way you don't go. So go through the guy.
So it's 2nd down and 7, and although the Mustangs did a good job defensively, you still pick up positive yardage. And we've got the old revolving quarterbacks here. Knight back into the game. And he's back to pass, and it's a fade route, and it's incomplete.
A lot of bumping from both guys going down. I like the no call right there. They gave him an opportunity. It was a good ball, where only the receiver could catch it, but good coverage on the Monte Vista end and a nice throw.
So it'll be 3rd down and 7, and the Spartans have the ball twice. They've scored twice. One time they took it the length of the field in a methodical drive. Then the drive after that, it wasn't much of a drive. Jefferson went 62 yards for the touchdown. DJ Ossie at tight end, and Dunphy misses the tackle in the backfield. And those are those type of plays. You've got to come in control and make the play. And he's a little out of control here, coming in and filling the hole, Coach.
Well, Monte Vista coming with a little blitz here, and I like it. It's a run blitz, and he does a nice job. Comes inside of it. I'd like to see him level off and flatten down the line of scrimmage on that blitz. Instead of don't keep going up the field. When you recognize, come flat behind those things and make the play. You're not going to always tackle it for a 4-yard loss.
So it's 4th down. Spartans taking a lot of time here. This is their 2nd 4th down attempt on this drive that started on their own 33. A lot of time. And we've got a hand count by the back judge. And break a tackle, move the chains, and the Spartans are inside the 10-yard line. Blanche, the junior running back, 434 yards on the ground and 5 touchdowns. And although diminutive in size, he runs hard. And you can't arm tackle or next level flag football that guy. You got to tackle him. And he runs right through those turnstile tackles and moves the chains, and it's 1st and goal from the 10.
And we got to see the second level of the defense, the linebackers, and even the 3rd level, be more aggressive on a 4th down play right there. Where you know that we're going to probably run the football. You got to stick your nose up in there and not let them get that quick, easy one.
Split backs, Spartans back to pass. Got to make this play here. And it's incomplete. Good coverage by Rhodes, and you like to see that after getting the pass interference early in the game. But there's those plays. You want to stay competitive with this team. You got to make those plays. That's got to be a turnover.
You got to, it's up there. You see it the whole way. You got to have an opportunity to go up and get it with 2 hands, not one. They're just throwing it to a spot. Obviously, he was in the right position, but he's got to make a play on that.
Spartans back to that ace formation. Cunningham as the other tight end, quite a football player, and it's pitch left, and Talon Jones is all over it. Watch 10 flash through the screen, a senior playing with a lot of energy and passion. Watch 10 coming from the 6-yard line, Coach.
That's the play before. We talked about being aggressive and attacking the line of scrimmage, and Talon's doing it right there. And I think that everybody's got to take a page on that. You can't sit there and be passive when they're running the ball at you. Especially if you're not real big up front or if they're getting a little push. Linebackers have got to force the issue.
Let the guys deep in the backfield make the coverage. Go and stop the run. Easier said than done. Spartans I formation, and it's pitch left. And the Mustangs, that is going to be a penalty on De La Salle. He grabbed his teammate and pulled him forward. Watch at the end of the play. And we'll see what the call is. That's what I saw from my perspective. Maybe it was a face mask. But watch 41. He literally carries his teammate forward, and I don't think he's wearing an Amazon vest. So I think this one is going to be on the Spartans. How was that a 1-yard penalty?
It's a dead ball foul. If that's the case, it should be 4th down. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Mechanically, that's not correct.
No, that's
Should
not
be
correct.
4th down.
They're basically replaying the down is what they're doing right now.
And we've got a timeout. We'll sort it out on the timeout. I think the officials are going to get together. You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV. Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by American Asphalt, is brought to you in part by Ned Milan and Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life by maximizing your potential for meeting life goals. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for over 75 years in Walnut Creek. Persevere Lending, we have capital available for you. And American Asphalt, taking care of business in the Bay Area for over 40 years. Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by American Asphalt, is brought to you in part by Ned Milan and Morgan Stanley. Here's a signal from the official. Justin Bigler. So if they decline the penalty, the ball should be on the 6-yard line.
And it should be 4th down.
And it should be 4th down, which it is. Now, are the Spartans going to go for it? Yes, sir. Assisting the runner. Now, you can push forward. You can't pull. And watch 41 here.
And
So
the penalty should have been from the 8-yard line or the 9-yard line where he started to pull him.
So the Spartans still get the 5 yards.
They declined the penalty.
And we declined the penalty. All right.
Because it's not considered a dead ball foul, so it can't be assessed as well as the play.
So it's 4th down.
I believe they have their kicker in the game. Watch out for the fake right here. This is an opportunity where they've shown fakes before in the past with a 14-0 lead.
Vince Epic is 2 of 3 on the season, and this will be a short kick, 23-yard attempt, and the kick is up, and it's good. So the Mustangs bend, but they don't break, but there were 2 times in that drive to make a play, and they didn't, and they still give up the point. So Spartans lead Monte Vista 17-zip. You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV. Ned Milan has over 19 years of experience in the financial industry, serving individuals, their families, business owners, and corporate executives. Ned proactively helps to develop a comprehensive financial plan in order to provide the appropriate investment strategy for clients. This includes retirement and estate planning, asset management, tax planning, and liability management. Please contact 1998 Monte Vista alum Ned Milan to develop a plan for your family. Ned Milan at Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life by maximizing your potential for meeting life goals. So the Spartans score on the field goal. And, Coach, how important? You got to manage this. It's 2:35. You know you get the ball to start the second half. You can't be careless with the football and give the Spartans a short field. So you got to get a good return and start the offense from there.
If you're gonna throw the ball here, you want to make sure they're very high percentage. You want to complete it. You don't want to go 3 and out and
not run any
take
clock.
15 seconds off the clock and give it back to them with 2 minutes plus. If you're going to throw the ball, you want in and out of your hands. I love a trap right here. This is an opportunity to run a trap,
the draw, or even
well,
a screen.
The defensive line is thinking you're going to throw. They're going to be getting up the field. Draw is good. Screen's good. 3-step drop. They're going to probably be running a 2-deep coverage, which takes a lot of your 3-step drop away. But don't go away from it. The slants, the crossing routes, if you're going to throw the ball. I would like to see them come out with a run right here. If they get some positive yards, maybe hurry up to get on the ball. If you don't, maybe slow it down.
You like to see that clock going. McMahon deep. Mustangs run a little motion. It's a play-action pass. He's got Breedlove in the flat. Get upfield. He does. And then nice tackle out in space by the corner.
Good play call.
Jefferson.
In and out. Very easy completion.
Positive
Get the
yardage.
positive yards.
Good chunk.
You still don't want to go real fast tempo yet because, as I said, you want to get that first down before you get to that fast tempo so that you can move it up and get closer to the half.
2nd and 4 for the Mustangs. Turner at quarterback's thrown for over 1,800 yards this season. Throw complete. Gets immediately up the field, and I know you like that, and that's Clausen, who started out like gangbusters, hasn't had a lot of production in the midseason, but a great chance for him to make the play and move the chains.
And once again, in and out of his hands, something quick. Now you want to pick up your tempo. You got all 3 timeouts. You got that first down. If you have to punt it, you're going to pin him anyway. So now you want to pick up that tempo and get after it. Minute 25 is an eternity in high school football.
Mustangs have 3 timeouts left. 4-man rush. Turner off to McMahon, not a bad option, and watch the big fella out in space, and he picks up 14. The clock will temporarily stop and will roll when they set the chains, and that's a great alternative to be able to get the ball to McMahon, who's got over 20 receptions on the season.
One thing I noticed about this De La Salle team that's different of years past, you're not getting a lot of pass rush. In years past, they've been able to put a lot of pass rush together
with a 4-man rush.
With a 4-man rush. They've always had some big, dominant guys. They're not doing a whole lot to put pressure on Monte Vista. I would expect them to come with some blitzes if they're not going to do it. And if they do come with blitzes, that's going to leave a lot of one-on-one opportunities for Monte Vista. They got to take advantage of that.
What I liked about Turner there is he didn't do the scramble. He stepped up in the pocket, and he was decisive. He was going to run, but what a great option to just be able to pitch it literally to Julian McMahon coming into the game with 251 yards receiving.
Well, the fact that he was a threat to run, you have to defend that.
Because he got to play earlier in the game. They're going to remember that. So
and the fact that I know Coach Allenbaugh just built it into the head. We can't let a quarterback like that beat us running the football, so now they're going to attack that. And it leaves up some dumps like that, leaves open some dumps like that. And they took advantage of it right there.
4-man front for the Spartans out to McMahon. And look at him run through a couple of tacklers. Still picks up 3.
And still don't need to use any timeouts. There's lots of time. 2nd down. Downs are more important right now. You want to get that first down on this play.
Jungi is about a 35-yard range, so they've still got to get another chunk of yardage, and I believe the Spartans will call a timeout.
I think what Coach Allenbaugh saw there was a big mismatch. They had a linebacker lined up on Breedlove, which is speed-wise, with no safety. It looked like they were going to try and come with some blitz since they were in an empty set, try and bring 5 guys. And the mismatch with Breedlove on a linebacker is not something that he liked.
So we want to thank our partners, Ned Milan at Morgan Stanley, Spitz Jewelers, Persevere Lending, American Asphalt, and then we'll stay here with Parma Deli and Catering in Concord as the place to go for a great custom-made sandwich. Just had my pastrami and bacon today. They cater for all occasions, graduations, office meetings, weddings, parties. When planning your perfect day, look no further than Parma Deli. And food lovers beware, you're in for a tasty surprise. And, Coach, no scales at Parma. Custom in. You've had a few of their sandwiches, and so has Joseph. Delicious. Turner taking a shot. Breedlove, catch! Down to the 2-yard line. Teardrop delivery.
And they saw it still. They had a mismatch. They had a safety back there that time. They changed what they were going to do defensively. Still didn't get over the top. Breedlove able to go by him.
So an invested timeout that goes the wrong way. And I liked what Breedlove did there, Coach. He ran earlier in the game, thought he might have slowed up, right? There he runs through the football with the poker face. Mass substitutions for De La Salle, and the Spartans caught up in security and forced to call a timeout. You like to see a little substitution, mass confusion. Let's look at this play once again, Coach.
Well, they're playing a 2-deep safety. The play before they had gone 1 deep, and they changed what they were going to do defensively. They went to 2 deep safeties, got a guy. That's the play before. And they put a guy where he could get help over the top. He was late getting off the hash. And from this angle, you'll see him come into your screen left. And he's late getting over the top right there, and it's a perfectly thrown ball to the front cone. That's what when you're talking to a quarterback.
Here's our all-22.
When you're talking to a quarterback, when you're outside the 40, you want to throw it to the front cone. And that's exactly where he threw it. When you're inside, between the 40 and the 20, you're going to throw it to the back cone.
So those Mustangs knocking on the goal line here. They'll go with a 2 tight end set, I formation. Jones is the fullback. The Mustangs have 2 timeouts. And it's a naked, and it's a throw, and it's a touchdown. Monte Vista High School, fake 29 reach, naked right, and Ford, the sophomore, who's only had 3 catches in the last 3 games, comes across on the layer and makes the catch, and the Mustangs are on the board. Perfect drive by Coach Wingard and company and Ford. And I love how Braden Turner took care of business on that drive.
Great call by Coach Wingard. They brought in their goal line personnel. Both Monte Vista did, and De La Salle countered with that. You see a lot of numbers in the 50s up there in front. And they were not respecting that naked. They were thinking run all the way. A really well-timed play.
And we loved when we were on offense and the other team would call a timeout. Why was that so set you up for success? Because you'll be able to read what they're going to do.
Yeah, you could see they were trying to get the reason they had to call a timeout, they were trying to mass substitute to get their goal line personnel, and they couldn't do it, and they kind of showed their hand right there. And with them going to that goal line personnel, you could take advantage of that because they're heavily, heavily defending the run when they do that, not so much the pass. And they really caught them off guard, and it's really good to do on first down because what do teams mostly do, specifically in high school? They like to run the ball on first down, go away from that tendency.
We played these guys 12 times, and we've been in these situations, little to no time left in the first half, and they've somehow had a return kick. Expect something here on this return.
And if I'm Monte Vista, I try and keep this ball on the ground, maybe a pooch kick, something to fair catch it where they're not going to get that opportunity.
Don't let them set up a return.
There's the pooch kick, try and drop it in, but
it's
a little
right
too
to
much
the
distance.
Receiver, and it's a run this way, and the Mustangs, led by senior safety Mateo Congdon with the tackle, and less than 32 seconds left, and the Monte Vista Mustangs will get the ball to start the second half, but the Spartans aren't going to just lay down here. And the way they've got some capable speedster running backs that can break a big play. And they don't have no timeouts,
With no timeouts, it kind of forces them to chuck the ball deep. So Monte Vista's got to play deeper than what they're doing. Specifically up top, they're playing too tight, and they're really being exposed to the corner should they choose to run something like that.
Edge run, and Dunphy, I believe, is going to be called for a face mask. So the clock will be stopped, so it's like a timeout, and plus you're going to get 15 yards.
And they're going to be in Monte Vista territory already.
So that's 35 yards in penalties for the Monte Vista defense. And stops the clock, nearly 26 seconds left, and that ball will be spotted at the Monte Vista 49-yard line. Mustangs need to get into a deep umbrella coverage here. Clock winds. Throw. And it's incomplete, and the flag stayed in the back pocket.
Once again, they got behind the defense. Underthrown ball. Second time it's been an underthrown
thrown
ball.
At the 5-yard line, it's a touchdown.
And they can't let a guy get by him. There's no excuse for that. And Monte Vista gets lucky. I keep saying we. I can't get past that. I don't want to get past that.
You work here every day.
And you can't let a guy get past that in that scenario. And I wouldn't be shocked if they come right back to the same thing. If they're going to play that tight in coverage, Now they're starting to loosen up a little bit, and they got to get out of their back pedals and just go.
Santiago with the 9 route. It's a screen. It's a tight end or slip screen to the running back, and he's got room to run. But Talon Jones does a good job. There wasn't a lot of black jerseys there, and although it was a 16-yard gain, Jones able to force the Spartan running back out of bounds. But Blanche here.
If they want to try a field goal, they're going to need probably another 7 to 8 yards on this play. So I would expect them with no timeouts to throw something to the outside to try and get that up. If they don't, they're going to probably give an opportunity to throw the ball deep.
Situational football, and the Monte Vista Mustangs have to be stalwart here.
Well, that went out the door when they did that.
It's a throwback on the 0 route.
That should take the rest of the
Still
time
going.
if they can wrap them up.
Still going. That's a block in the back, no call, and that'll end the half. I tell you, the Spartans tested the Mustangs' will, and we've got a player down for Monte Vista. But Blanche could scoot, run the little crossing route, and the Mustangs, do we have that play? But the Mustangs get a break. They get a key 3 score, Coach. They haven't turned the football over, and they'll get the ball to start the second half.
The difference in the game right now is the 62-yard run. They made De La Salle work for everything they got in that first half. That first drive was a 12-13 play drive that they went down and punched it in. Had to convert on several 3rd and 5s in order to do it. They forced them to do that, made the game go fast, which is what you talked about, really shorten this game up. Monte Vista's had success moving the ball.
Most certainly.
And they took advantage of the one pass play that they have and did a nice job of getting back in this game.
We'll take a brief timeout here and then come back with the second half. De La Salle scored the first 17 points of the game, but then the Mustangs with a key 3 possession score with Turner, I'm going to go out and say, looked like his best drive of the season. Monte Vista trails De La Salle, but they get the ball to start the second half. Spartan 17, Mustang 7. You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV. Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by American Asphalt, is brought to you in part by Ned Milan and Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life by maximizing your potential for meeting life goals. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for over 75 years in Walnut Creek. Persevere Lending, we have capital available for you. And American Asphalt, taking care of business in the Bay Area for over 40 years. Ned Milan has over 19 years of experience in the financial industry, serving individuals, their families, business owners, and corporate executives. Ned proactively helps to develop a comprehensive financial plan in order to provide the appropriate investment strategy for clients. This includes retirement and estate planning, asset management, tax planning, and liability management. Please contact 1998 Monte Vista alum Ned Milan to develop a plan for your family. Ned Milan at Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life by maximizing your potential for meeting life goals. Persevere Lending, based in Danville, specializes in the brokerage of privately funded real estate loans in California with a focus on the Bay Area. Monte Vista Football Hall of Famer Damon Bauer's team at Persevere Lending can help you achieve your financing goals with their array of alternative and unique mortgage options. Damon has a 20-year track record of success and is ready to go to work for you. Go to perseverelending.com to learn about our strategic, creative, and efficient loan programs for residential and commercial properties and our safe, secure, and lucrative investment opportunities. Persevere Lending, we have capital available for you. Family owned and operated since 1946 as a full-service jewelry store, Spitz Jewelers has remained true to our founding philosophies. Founded on the tradition of service, quality, and value, today we proudly continue that tradition from the smallest request to the most intricate custom design. We love what we do, and with 3 generations of success as our inspiration, we look forward to continuing these traditions into the future. Come see us at 1333 North Main Street in Walnut Creek. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for over 75 years. Go Mustangs! Monte Vista Football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by American Asphalt, is brought to you in part by Ned Milan and Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life by maximizing your potential for meeting life goals. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for over 75 years in Walnut Creek. Persevere Lending, we have capital available for you. And American Asphalt, taking care of business in the Bay Area for over 40 years. Ned Milan has over 19 years of experience in the financial industry, serving individuals, their families, business owners, and corporate executives. Ned proactively helps to develop a comprehensive financial plan in order to provide the appropriate investment strategy for clients. This includes retirement and estate planning, asset management, tax planning, and liability management. Please contact 1998 Monte Vista alum Ned Milan to develop a plan for your family. Ned Milan at Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life by maximizing your potential for meeting life goals. Persevere Lending, based in Danville, specializes in the brokerage of privately funded real estate loans in California with a focus on the Bay Area. Monte Vista Football Hall of Famer Damon Bauer's team at Persevere Lending can help you achieve your financing goals with their array of alternative and unique mortgage options. Damon has a 20-year track record of success and is ready to go to work for you. Go to perseverelending.com to learn about our strategic, creative, and efficient loan programs for residential and commercial properties and our safe, secure, and lucrative investment opportunities. Persevere Lending, we have capital available for you. Family owned and operated since 1946 as a full-service jewelry store, Spitz Jewelers has remained true to our founding philosophies. Founded on the tradition of service, quality, and value, today we proudly continue that tradition from the smallest request to the most intricate custom design. We love what we do, and with 3 generations of success as our inspiration, we look forward to continuing these traditions into the future. Come see us at 1333 North Main Street in Walnut Creek. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for over 75 years. Go Mustangs! Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by American Asphalt, is brought to you in part by Ned Milan and Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life by maximizing your potential for meeting life goals. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for over 75 years in Walnut Creek. Persevere Lending, we have capital available for you. And American Asphalt, taking care of business in the Bay Area for over 40 years. Ned Milan has over 19 years of experience in the financial industry, serving individuals, their families, business owners, and corporate executives. Ned proactively helps to develop a comprehensive financial plan in order to provide the appropriate investment strategy for clients. This includes retirement and estate planning, asset management, tax planning, and liability management. Please contact 1998 Monte Vista alum Ned Milan to develop a plan for your family. Ned Milan at Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life by maximizing your potential for meeting life goals. Persevere Lending, based in Danville, specializes in the brokerage of privately funded real estate loans in California with a focus on the Bay Area. Monte Vista Football Hall of Famer Damon Bauer's team at Persevere Lending can help you achieve your financing goals with their array of alternative and unique mortgage options. Damon has a 20-year track record of success and is ready to go to work for you. Go to perseverelending.com to learn about our strategic, creative, and efficient loan programs for residential and commercial properties and our safe, secure, and lucrative investment opportunities. Persevere Lending, we have capital available for you. Family owned and operated since 1946 as a full-service jewelry store, Spitz Jewelers has remained true to our founding philosophies. Founded on the tradition of service, quality, and value, today we proudly continue that tradition from the smallest request to the most intricate custom design. We love what we do, and with 3 generations of success as our inspiration, we look forward to continuing these traditions into the future. Come see us at 1333 North Main Street in Walnut Creek. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for over 75 years. Go Mustangs! Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV.
Oh.
Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by American Asphalt, is brought to you in part by Ned Milan and Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life by maximizing your potential for meeting life goals. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for over 75 years in Walnut Creek. Persevere Lending, we have capital available for you. And American Asphalt, taking care of business in the Bay Area for over 40 years. So about 90 seconds left here in intermission as the Spartans lead Monte Vista 17-7. De La Salle touched their first 3 times they touched the football. One time was a long drive that took more than 6 minutes and 9 seconds. And it was a short run by Dominic Kelly, and the Spartans were up 7-0. And then on the last play of the second quarter, or the first quarter, Jaden Jefferson went 62 yards to put the Spartans up 14-zip. And then the Mustang defense got a stop, had an opportunity to get an interception in the end zone. Sepik with his 3rd field goal of the season, and the Spartans were off to a nice start. But then Monte Vista, on their last drive of the first half, went the length of the field, set up by a nice throw from Turner to Breedlove, and the Mustangs punched it in on their own fake 29 reach, naked right. Didn't like the flat receiver, got it to Ford, the big target over the middle, and it's 17-7. And, Coach, the Mustangs get the ball to start the second half, but so far they've been penalty-free on offense. They've shortened the game, and they haven't turned over the football, and they've given up one big play offense or defensively.
Exactly what we hit on before the game, what they needed to do to stay in this game. The thing that they need to keep doing offensively is don't abandon the run. They've been effective with the runs that they have had. They played in front of the chains. They haven't given up the big sack. They haven't given up a tackle for a loss, so they put themselves in situations where they can get the first down. Defensively, it's been quite the opposite. They can't get off the field. They were able to get off the field there on the last drive, but in the first half, I believe there was only 4 or 5 possessions total in the entire game.
Yep, shortened the game, but there was a couple of 4th down conversions the Spartans were able to get on one of the middle drives, and then the De La Salle had the ball at the end, but they didn't have any timeouts left.
No, and I thought the choice of plays was probably not, and I'm sure that Coach Allenbaugh feels the same way now looking back on it, probably should have either attacked the end zone or gone short to the outside to try and set up a field goal. Fortunately for Monte Vista, they didn't do either.
Sepik with a kick, and it's taken at the 5-yard line by Breedlove, and then running sideways will get you nowhere.
In a kickoff return, the minute you break down like that, you stop your momentum, you're not going to get any yardage. You got to hit that thing full speed, and if you hit a seam, you hit a seam. If you don't, you're still going to get positive yards. You'll see he breaks down right here, chops his feet right there, and tries to make a cut the outside. When you do that on a kickoff return, the pursuit catches up every time.
When you make the ball carrier pitter-patter his feet, that's the result. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Monte Vista 15-yard line.
And we're joined in the booth by the great Andy Popper, the athletic director here at Monte Vista.
We love Andy, always supportive of NorCal Sports TV, and always very helpful. 29 reach for McMahon, and does a good job of getting up the field, picks up positive yardage. Julian had 30 yards on 5 carries, 17 yards receiving. Braden Turner was 7 of 11 for 78 yards. Breedlove 3 receptions for 74 yards. Clausen with a reception, and then Ford with a 2-yard touchdown. Turner, decisive throw, and then Ford runs first, drops second, and it's incomplete. And it's the old adage, Coach, your hands will never drop a ball that you catch with your eyes.
Boy, I tell you, great decision by Braden Turner. Got the ball once again in and out of his hands. Good call by Coach Wingert, putting him in a situation to succeed. You have to make those plays. And it was a good route. It was a great throw, good protection, but you got to finish it.
And those are, we've seen a handful of plays tonight where Monte Vista's got their hands either on the ball, either defensively or offensively, and they've got to make those plays. So it'll be 3rd and 7, a little Ed-Ted stunt, and it's in window and running a little too much horizontally, and it'll be 3rd or 4th down and short on the in window. And this is the middle screen. But he's got to come and get that football and use his momentum and then get north, and Jungi will be on to punt.
I know it's difficult. We were just talking about the San Diego Chargers and Coach Brandon Staley taking an opportunity on 4th down. This is a scenario where if you're Monte Vista, you might roll the dice and give it a shot, but you never can go wrong with punting the ball.
Jungi, and great coverage by the Mustangs. Short return by Guerrero. And the Spartans will get their first possession of the second half on their own 42-yard line. And they were not very successful throwing the football after their first drive. They're going to get into a I-left twins with a fullback. And it's an ISO play and a short gain of 3 yards for the Spartans.
That's something that that De La Salle's added to their offense. They've never been a big ISO team in years past. They've been a big counter team and obviously a veer team. And they've added this. I think they feel they have downhill runners and they want to attack it that way.
We've got a Monte Vista player down. We'll take a break. You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV. Family owned and operated since 1946 as a full-service jewelry store, Spitz Jewelers has remained true to our founding philosophies. Founded on the tradition of service, quality, and value, today we proudly continue that tradition from the smallest request to the most intricate custom design. We love what we do, and with 3 generations of success as our inspiration, we look forward to continuing these traditions into the future. Come see us at 1333 North Main Street in Walnut Creek. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for over 75 years. Go Mustangs. Family owned and operated. Persevere Lending, based in Danville, specializes in the brokerage of privately funded real estate loans in California with a focus on the Bay Area. Monte Vista Football Hall of Famer Damon Bauer's team at Persevere Lending can help you achieve your financing goals with their array of alternative and unique mortgage options. Damon has a 20-year track record of success and is ready to go to work for you. Go to perseverelending.com to learn about our strategic, creative, and efficient loan programs for residential and commercial properties and our safe, secure, and lucrative investment opportunities. Persevere Lending, we have capital available for you. We coached together our last loss and our last season together. It was 45-17 was our only loss of the season to the Spartans over there. But what a talent group of players on the field. For the Spartans, you had Isaiah Foskey's with the New Orleans Saints, Henry To'oto'a, who is with the Texans. You got Eric Kromenhoek, who was in camp with the Los Angeles Chargers last season. You got Corey Luciano, who's on the practice squad of the San Francisco 49ers. These are our Monte Vista guys. Jay Kaner, I think he's listening in tonight with the New Orleans Saints. And the Hammer, Nate Landman. So there was 6 NFL guys on the field that night. And I want to talk a little bit about Nate. Coach, he's doing a great job at linebacker and is grading out very high, and he's been a tackling machine in Sharktober for the Falcons.
Well, that's not a surprise on our end, that's for sure. He just needed the opportunity, and they finally realized we're going to give him that opportunity, and he'll take the most of it all the time.
So Galwitz nearly gets the tackle. The problem is he plays for De La Salle, but the Spartans are still able to make a positive play. I don't know how that's not a block in the back on a peel back, but it'll be 3rd down and 5. Can the Mustangs get off the field?
Well, Breedlove again did a wonderful job. He got in the backfield. He attacked the blocker. He didn't sit and wait. And when you get in the backfield and you attack that blocker, good things happen.
Mustangs players gaining some confidence here. Under the 10-minute mark here from Sam Zakai Memorial Field. And too many missed tackles, and it's a chain-moving play for the Spartans. Talon Jones trying to rake the football out. He fails, and it'll be a 14-yard gain, and the Spartans will get into Monte Vista territory.
That's, going
a lot of black jersey, and I'll let you go. A lot of black jersey with the Pop-Tart look at the defensive line, playing way too high.
And that's where it all starts. If they get push up there on the defensive lineman, it's tough on linebackers to come up and fill. And when they make contact 5 yards downfield, it's those third down plays are just killing Monte Vista right
Blanche. Another chain-moving run. Back-to-back 16-yard runs for the Spartans. Good blocking up front. And the Mustangs are going around blocks. And you talked about Breedlove taking on the blocks. If you run around blocks, you've been blocked. It's simple. And this execution of the Spartans is really good so far on this drive. But thank Coach Allenbaugh. Thank you, Coach, for throwing the bubble screen.
Yeah, I can't say enough about how well Breedlove is playing out in space right there. Once again, if you watch that play, watch what he does. He attacks that blocker, and that running back has nowhere to run. The receiver has nowhere to run because he's controlling the blocker, making that guy run sideways. And that's the rest of the teams they've got to do that defensively. They can't, as you said, run around the blocks. They've got to get after it physically.
2-by-2 set for the Spartans, 2nd and 10, inside run. And you see where the initial contact is. It's a 3-yard gain, but just Kelly, watch his feet on contact. Just keeps moving.
Well, if you look at the line of scrimmage moves 3 yards downfield. They're just controlling the up front guys, and that, they might want to take. I said it before. San Ramon had a lot of success.
When in doubt, create a pile.
You were
dropping
just down,
make it easy.
A pile, not letting them push you.
3 tight end formation for De La Salle, and it's the old dive, which gave us nightmares. And it's inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal from the 6-yard line, and the Spartans will get right up under the football.
And I would expect the same play.
This time the linebackers aren't playing with their heels into the end zone. No. They're getting up and getting dirty. Take a chance.
You've got to be aggressive here. And if you're De La Salle, you're seeing all that pinching right now. Everybody's pinching down inside. I would expect an outside hitting play right here, knowing that Monte Vista is selling out, trying to stop the inside run.
They'd like to go to the quarterback sweep in these type of situations. A lot of time taken by the Spartans. 4-yard line, triple tight ends, I formation, and that's a procedure. No call, touchdown De La Salle. Watch the tight end late getting set right off the edge. You tell me they're set for a count. You be the judge. I could be wrong. No, not at all. And you can't defend that, and it's a touchdown De La Salle.
And that's something that at every
that's
level
obvious,
of football,
Coach. We're not stretching things.
The rule of football is you must be set for a full count, and high school has the same rules as college and the NFL that way. And you can't do that in college because they'll call it every time. You can't do that in the NFL. They'll call it every time. I don't understand why the official will not call that, and it's something that's been going on for years
and years.
Hey,
here it is again.
Play
it full speed, and we're going to do. And we're going to do it full speed. Do it full speed, and we'll do the 1001. 1,000.
I can't even get it out of your mouth.
Jesus.
But give credit to De La Salle.
Yeah.
They're not going to call it.
I agree. So you have leverage, you have strength, and then you get the rolling start, and it's a 58-yard touchdown drive for the Spartans, and Sepik remains perfect on the season, and it's 24-7 Spartans. Let's just watch that play again and watch the push up front by the white jerseys, regardless if they got off early or not. You've got to get low. And if you don't get low, you're going to get blown back. And you see the defensive lineman get blocked 4 yards into the end zone. So the Spartans, with the opening drive score, the only time the Mustangs got a stop was on the last drive of the game because time ran out. Sepik, short kick. Shahada, again, once you pitter-patter your feet against a good, well-coached, strong football team, you're done. Right there. Just run. If he continues to run, he might get 20 to the 22, maybe the 23. Not a big difference, but you got to finish those plays. So the Mustangs, with their second drive of the game, starting at their own 20-yard line with 6:46 left here in the third quarter. 28 reach. And McMahon running through potential tacklers and picks up positive yardage, but a lot of penetration by this De La Salle defensive line.
And you'll see they come with an edge blitz here from the boundary, and I think that's probably something we talked about before. They haven't been getting any heat on the quarterback by bringing four, so their answer is to start to bring linebackers a little bit. Now Monte Vista's got to realize that and go to some quick hitters, things to take advantage of the blitz.
2nd and 8. McMahon, 30 yards in the first half, 1,000 yards plus on the season. Breedlove in motion, and it's a naked. Throws out here to the flat, and good open field tackle there by Jaden Jefferson. He's just a sophomore coach, and he's been all over the football field today, not only offensively, but defensively.
Just a very sound player. Once again, they came with the same boundary blitz right there, and it forced him to throw the ball a little quicker than he wanted. And you got to see that. The coaches on the sideline have got to see what their plan of attack is in this half, and so far it's been to put pressure.
3rd and 8, Mustangs, fleet formation, forward inline tight end by the Monte Vista bench, and it's a run to McMahon, and coming up from his defensive position, Seastrand, the senior, with the tackle, and the Mustangs will come on to punt, but just too much penetration, and Biller is a pest.
Well, that's the old pin and pull play, and if you're going to run a pin and pull, you got to pin the guy in order for pullers to go, and they didn't even get a hand on him.
It's the blank and the pull, and Biller most likely will follow in his uncle's footsteps and go to Cal and play rugby. And his uncle Chris, one of my all-time favorite De La Salle Spartan. I believe his parents signed a waiver for him to play his senior season, and we put him on film and went, yikes, we can't block him. Nice job getting upfield and making the tackle was Gurney. So the Spartans will have their second possession of the game just shy of the 50-yard line.
And one thing, we harp about it every week, and De La Salle's done a great job of fielding those punts and not letting that ball hit the ground.
They haven't had to make up any lost yardage tonight, and they have played pretty much penalty-free. They'll go to this bunch formation, our old triple right bunch, if you will, and it's pitch out right, and we've got a flag. And might there be the first hold of the game? Yes, it'll be a holding call. So the Spartans will, for the first time tonight, will play deep beyond the chains. So it'll be 1st and 20. The whiteout, Justin Bigler. Remember when he first started, was a young official working sidelines at Pac-12 games. Somebody's interested in the game. Somebody's approachable. You might not always agree with his call, but he got you closure, and you move on to the next play, and that's all you could ask
One of the good
from
guys.
officials.
Super guy.
Ace formation. That's 2 tight ends with split receivers. And it's a play-action pass, and it's a hold, and it's no call. The Monte Vista Mustangs got away with a hold, so they might get off a procedure. You just got away with a hold. We are homers, But
It's also the old adage, it's only a hold if they call it.
it's only a lie, Jerry, if you don't.
No, it's not a lie.
It's not a lie, Jerry, if you don't believe
And I know
if you
Chris
believe
Lum,
it.
who's under the weather, is listening, and he likes that. It's one of his favorite comments.
So Clausen with the coverage might have got a little sticky, but it'll be 2nd and 20, and this smells of some type of screen or tight end delay for the boys from Winton and Treat.
Or draw. I could see a sprint draw right here. Sprint this way. I've
we've
seen
been
them
just-
run that a number of times. They've had great success with that play as well.
Dunphy misses a tackle but keeps playing the game, and they only give up a 6-yard run. Give them 7, so it'll be 3rd down and 14 for the Spartans. They lost their first 2 games of the season to two very good teams. They gave up 63 points, but they've straightened the ship. But we're talking to all their coaches. This is a young team, and they're going to play the best teams, and they're going to get better off those games, win or lose. So 3rd down and 13, not much of a pass rush. Throw over the middle, and it goes incomplete. It would have been short of the 1st down. Price there to interrupt the timing, and it looks like, it appears to be, but they like to play this game with the punt team. So you've got to be aware here and keep your eyes up.
Nobody
And we
bad.
say this because we've been booby-trapped before on these. It's not like we're perfect. And Monte Vista's got to get a defender, get a returner back.
Do they have
4,
only
5, 6,
10?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's my Chico State math. You got to catch this football. And the Mustangs lose 10 yards. Although I'm going to defend Shahada, I don't think he felt exactly comfortable with this. And if you don't, just let it hit the ground. But that's another 1st down that the offense needs to get. 2:48 left here in the 3rd quarter. Spartans 24, Monte Vista 7. That's the 2nd stop of the game for the Monte Vista offense. I think they need to take more shots downfield.
Yeah, the thing is if they can get some points out of this and try and get to the 4th quarter down 2 scores, then it's anybody's ball game.
Turner, edge blitzer for the Spartans, and the Mustangs run right into it.
And that's the same blitz. They've done the last 2 first downs, and
I
they've
believe this
obviously
is Cunningham coming off the edge. He goes unblocked. And then you add a edge blitzer. Cunningham's a good player. When you don't block him, he's that much better. So the Mustangs have done a good job for most of the night playing in front of the chains. Now it's 2nd and 16, 2nd and 17. You need to manage this situation.
And don't compound this here by trying to get it all back at once. Try and get 6, 7 yards right here. Put yourself in that management. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to have a costly turnover.
Turner. He's had Breedlove on the crossing route, but they give up the sack.
Yeah, that's one of the
Talona.
first times. Pretty good protection. They
Another
collapsed a little
sophomore
bit.
coach for the Spartans. So now it's 3rd and 21, and there's nowhere on Coach Wingert's play sheet. At a minimum, you'd like to get this ball out to at least the 15-yard line so your punter is not punting from the end zone, because I guarantee you Coach Allenbaugh probably could run a punt block. I don't believe they blocked one this year.
They're going to be close to getting this playoff because they ran all the way to the sidelines to get that thing.
I haven't seen the back judge do a hand count yet. Turner, throw, and looked like our old 5 route, but didn't come down the stem. It's incomplete. A minute left in the quarter, and Jungi will be on to kick. I'd like to see him kick this towards the Monte Vista bench or kick it deep along the sideline. Don't give a chance, because they've got – anytime they run 2 returners, there's a chance of some type of special return.
Well, kick it away from them where they can't field it. They kick it right over here to the 40-yard line, try and get a 38, 40-yard punt. No return.
Danger punt. Jungi kicks it right down the middle. But who's there to make the play? Second tackle on special teams tonight, again, for Will Gurney.
And watch Will Gurney run right through that blocker. You notice that Monte Vista having great success. Right there. He runs right through him, doesn't avoid him. And that really gives the indecision to that returner. Which way do I go? Because if Gurney were to go left, the returner would go right, and vice versa.
So that's an example. You got to beat them physically. You're not going to okie-dokie them. You're not going to run trick plays and fool them. You got to be Olivia Newton-John and get physical. Spartans will continue with the double tight formation. Knight back at quarterback. And a big hole up the middle. McMahon with the tackle, but not before the Spartans pick up 8 yards.
Seeing a couple new wrinkles in De La Salle's offense. You're seeing some different types of plays that they haven't run in the past. That's a counter out of the line, but they toss it
to the back. That's the 49ers run that with CMC. So it'll be 2nd down and 1. Play was blown down with 42 seconds, and in high school you've got 40 seconds in between plays to snap the football. Plenty of time. And when we come back in the fourth quarter, I'm going to get a shot of the boom cameras that the Spartans bring. It's a reverse, and there's nobody out here. And there's going to be a hole. This is coming back.
There's a lot of laundry on the field.
A lot of laundry, and this will come back. Jones was held around the 25-yard line, and this one's coming back. So there's one flag at the Monte Vista 21-yard line, and here's the call. So there was 3 holdeats.
Well, do we have 4?
So the running back can't hold, and the quarterback's not going to hold. So that leaves 3 out of the 9 guys held, allegedly. So it'll be
should be
so it'll be 2nd down and a long 7 yards. And late substitution, Rich Adara into the game. And Mustangs late to get set. Play action pass. Knight. He's got a wide open receiver, and you can't give up the big one, and they just did. 36-yard strike to Belkey, and he is wide open.
Well, I'd like to see that one more time to see if there's a safety miscue.
That is the last play of the third quarter.
Well, the Mustangs come with a semi-blitz, so they're locked up in man coverage. And when you're locked up in man coverage, the last thing you can do as a corner is give up the inside like that because you have no over-the-top help. And so Cody Rhodes has got to do a better job of playing over the top of that.
You got to sink. Sepik remains perfect on the season. And just like that, it's 31-7 De La Salle. You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV. Ned Milan has over 19 years of experience in the financial industry, serving individuals, their families, business owners, and corporate executives. Ned proactively helps to develop a comprehensive financial plan in order to provide the appropriate investment strategy for clients. This includes retirement and estate planning, asset management, tax planning, and liability management. Please contact 1998 Monte Vista alum Ned Milan to develop a plan for your family. Ned Milan at Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life by maximizing your potential for meeting life goals. Ned Milan has over 19 years of experience in the financial industry, serving individuals, their families, business owners, and corporate executives. 31-7 Spartans. Mustangs need to get up the field. They got a little bit of room to run, and the Mustangs, with their best field position of the game, get out to their own 33-yard line. That time, Shahada with the return. Shahada, the senior, 6 touchdowns receiving. He's got into the end zone with returns. Senior receiver. And 2 times tonight, Coach, De La Salle was scored on the last play of the quarter, last play of the first quarter, last play of the third quarter. 31-7.
And both big plays.
Both big plays. It's 28 reach and not much room to run.
Lasker, I believe.
Anthony Morgan, the third, with a tackle, and Lasker with the carry. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Actually, I believe it was Carson Mix on the carry.
Carson has got a touchdown rushing, a touchdown kickoff return. Last senior night here, and another senior we want to recognize is Evan Richadera, anchor of the O-line, fierce competitor, long snapper, plays with a lot of joy and toughness. Turner with a nice throw, and it goes incomplete. Little bit more air, but I like the timing of how Braden has thrown the football. Sure, maybe a little more better accuracy, but he throws this on time, and it goes incomplete. But put the ball only where his receiver could
really
possibly
good timing.
get it.
Another thing I really like out of that is how Carson Mix stepped up and he took on the blitzer.
Bam.
They came with an A-gap blitzer. It's his responsibility to step up and pick it up, and he did. He put his face mask right in the middle of it, gave him an opportunity to throw the football.
Throw back to films. You got to stone that guy.
Stone the guy right there.
Put your face mask in the chest. So 3rd down and 11 for Monte Vista. Turner. Throw. Going deep again. And it goes incomplete. Shahada.
Good ball. Excellent ball. Threw
Yep.
it to the right spot. And a good opportunity to try and make something happen right there.
I like how he's stepping into the throw, and it's a catchable ball there. It's, again, it's those. There's been a handful of plays tonight. Do you go out and make them, or you don't make them? If you make them, you're more competitive, and then maybe have a chance, But when you don't, you continue. You give them the football. Yeah. They're going to run the football and score time after time.
Well, I'd like to see Monte Vista maybe come back with, the same type of look. And the way the safeties are getting off the hash now to come out and get the outside wide out, you probably can get a guy down the seam. And, if you look outside, come right back down the seam, might get a guy wide open.
33-yard kick for the senior Jungie. And the Spartans will take over on their own 34-yard line. Parma Deli and Catering in Concord is the place to go for custom-made sandwiches. They cater for all occasions, graduations, meetings, weddings, and parties of any kind. When planning your perfect day, go no further than Parma Deli. 1st and 10, Knight at quarterback. And this time on original contact. At halftime, Clayton leads California 12-10. Keon Harris, the junior, and picks up a short gain. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Spartans. A World Series score final. Rangers up 8-6.
No, I believe that would be 5-5 in the bottom of the 10th.
Coach, I've got great glasses. Speaking of moving your feet and running through tackles, Keon Harris doesn't do it on the first carry, but he does it here. All these running backs for the Spartans, they know their reps are going to be limited, so you better put all of your energy and move your feet. And a lot of guys getting carries tonight for Coach Allenbaugh, and nearly every time getting positive yardage I formation, ISO play, and Jones fills the hole, and the Monte Vista defensive line does a better job of playing at the line of scrimmage. That's a roll. Gee, Merry Christmas.
Enough said.
Yeah, you're right. Send your letters to Gavin Newsom if you have a problem with me calling that out. Remember Mike Ditka? Come and meet me at my office.
Mike Ditka.
Ditka.
One of the all-timers.
Yes. 2nd and 9. Play action pass. Throw out here to the flat. That's offensive pass interference. No call. The wide receiver is blocking the Monte Vista defensive back before that ball is caught out here in the flat. Maybe we'll get our all-22 and see that. And the completion goes to Santiago, and the Spartans will move the chains.
I believe Monte Vista had a touchdown call back against Cal High for the similar type play.
Yeah, we'll just leave it there. Ace formation. Night in. Counter. And doing a nice job. Nice job.
I think it was Aiden Sherrick.
Yep. 62 and 52 are doing some
nice things, getting opportunities and making the most of their opportunities.
The senior playing his last home game.
Aiden's a terrific kid.
Monte Vista plays at San Ramon for the Battle of the Gelderman Trophy. Monte Vista's offsides. And we call that one from here. Glad they made that call.
Well, and this is a product of the rolling start. When you're allowing them to do that, you're at such a disadvantage defensively. You've got to try and time it up. And if they're going to allow them to do that, you're going to see a lot of defensive offsides. Otherwise, you're going to see a lot of defenses on their backs because it is a big disadvantage.
When we played them, we practiced all week. We would tell our scout team, and trust me, we did not duplicate their offense. We told our offensive line, snap down and roll and go. We don't even care what it's called on. You've got to be able to try to simulate it. And although we were 0-12, there were a couple of games we were competitive, and we'll talk about those later in the quarter.
And I know that San Ramon took them to overtime. And if you watch that game, it was really a matter of De La Salle beating them, giving those opportunities.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of questionable calls watching that, but looking back, the game really wasn't that close. De La Salle had it in hand, and a couple of late, what looked like bungled calls let San Ramon have an opportunity to be in it.
So the Spartans haven't lost a section game since 1991. The Mustangs get the stop. I'm sure Coach Allenbaugh is going to go for it. So they've won 30 straight section titles. And then on average, those some are shorter, some are longer. But let's just say for conversation purposes, there's 4 extra weeks. That's 120 weeks. A normal regular football season is 12 weeks. Coach, in the last 30 years, they have had 10 extra seasons of practice. And they'd use those not only to improve their team, but their lower levels and getting a chance to be coached and practice with varsity players.
Yeah, they bring them all up for the practice because you can have unlimited players out there for the playoffs.
I think the Monte Vista Mustangs get a stop.
And I mean, I can't tell you how much respect I have for Coach Allenbaugh to have to follow in the footsteps of Bob
My
Lattiser,
goodness.
who's not only a terrific coach, he's a terrific guy, but to come in and take over for that program, he's done such a wonderful job and they haven't missed a beat.
No.
And you can't compare them to the Boscos in the modern days of Southern California.
It's a different time.
It's a different time, and they're basically playing with no rules down there. And it's really a big an issue if our Northern California teams are going to have to compete against teams that aren't playing against the same rules. It's really a disadvantage for us.
Mix spins and gets 4 yards. But they get a lot of that. And then also, and I've talked to, during this week of preparing for this game, talked to a lot of former Spartan players. They work out, practice all year long. They get 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks off for Christmas break. So we're coaching. Why can't you beat De La Salle? Well, we got talented players. But not only are they talented, you don't beat De La Salle tonight. You got to beat them in the offseason. You have to outwork them. Are you willing to give up family vacations? Are you willing to give up that 3-day weekend up at Tahoe? Those are the commitment that these kids, through Coach Ladisor and Coach Allenbaugh, the commitment they've made to De La Salle football. Nice run up the middle.
You know, there are positives and negatives to that as well, because as you look at, I don't think there's any kids at De La Salle now that play multiple sports as far as football, basketball, and you lose a lot of athletes, kids that try and focus on one sport when in reality they should be playing multiple. You look back at De La Salle players in the past that have played multiple. Matt Gutierrez, a great quarterback, also played basketball. They've had a lot. Coach Allenbaugh himself was a football, baseball player and was terrific at both. In fact, played baseball in college at UCLA. So, they've gone away from that, the two-sport athlete, and I think that's hurt them. I think that's hurt them from as far as getting players up there, because kids like to play multiple sports. And I, for one, who was a two-sporter in college.
In high school, the only time you lost to somebody from Willits, because I never beat you, was in tennis. You played tennis, you played basketball, and you played baseball.
It was a butt whooping. Yeah. He beat me soundly.
Kind of like what my Wolverines did to his Eagles this year. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV. Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by American Asphalt, is brought to you in part by Ned Milan and Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life by maximizing your potential for meeting life goals. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for over 75 years in Walnut Creek. Persevere Lending, we have capital available for you. And American Asphalt, taking care of business in the Bay Area for over 40 years. So, wanted to not to go on the couch and get the lights down low, and I'm in my chair, and we're going to go through a little psychology thing here. But we had back-to-back years. We had really good football teams. They obviously guys. October 31st of 2008 at Spartans. De La Salle 45, Monte Vista 35. I know you could describe this play-by-play. What do you remember about that game?
What I remember most is just the mistakes and the things that we gave them. And we were not a team that made mistakes like that. And I remember that we threw an interception for a touchdown. They returned one for a touchdown. And I also remember that they had a fake punt. A fake field goal when we took a timeout and told them it was coming, and they were successful on that. And they also hit a Hail Mary for a touchdown at the end of the half, and then we fumbled on the 1-yard line going in.
Yep. And
so that's 28 points.
Yep.
And to lose by 10 and when we really dominated the game was disheartening.
And who says we don't help out the Spartans? Helping them out with the headsets. Then the following year, when the lights went out in Danville,
Is that a?
We're here.
They went out in Georgia the same year.
Yes, going to Georgia. Spartans 28, Monte Vista 21. Speaking of handing things, you don't have to name the names that did it. People can, if you know, you know.
We had an opportunity. We had 14-7 with just over a minute to go in the half, and we had the ball on the 1 yard line, fourth down, going in, and we went for it. We had a very good offense and a terrific offense, and just made a poor throw when we had a guy wide open. We had an opportunity to go up 21-7. Instead, it was incomplete. They took over at the 1. They just wanted to run the clock out, get to halftime down 14-7, and they busted out a 70-yard dive. And
Terrell Ward
to the 30, to Ron Ward, who ran for 360 yards
but
in that
yet
game.
Never scored a
touchdown.
touchdown.
And they ended up scoring to tie it at half. And then the second half, they scored, and then we scored 21-all, and then the lights came out.
And the lights went down in Danville.
And sometimes that happens in high school, though.
We would have had it out 28-21. We were ahead. We would have turned the lights out. We not only turned the lights out, we would have cut the cord.
Yeah.
Congdon, with that wildcat run, and makes it a 2nd down and 3, and he'll stay in the game and breaks a couple of tackles, and he moves the chains. Little wrinkle for the Mustangs. Congdon, who was a starting quarterback last year, and he's decisive here, doesn't fool the camera, runs through contact, and moves the chains for Monte Vista.
Good hard running. It's nice to see a lot of different numbers out there getting opportunities. Another thing I've liked seeing tonight is Talon Jones on the offensive side of the ball doing some blocking. He really adds a nice a change up for them.
Tip of the hat to all these all the Monte Vista players, but in particular the seniors, playing with a lot of effort. They haven't turned over the football. Made a couple of mistakes defensively that cost them big plays. I mean, who's fooling who? We played against this team a long time. We gave up a lot of big plays. Monte Vista's given up 2 big plays. Unfortunately, they both went for touchdowns, and they were at the end of the quarter. Monte Vista's lone score was at the end of the first half, and the Spartans coaching staff getting a lot of players an opportunity to play, and Congdon fumbles a snap, but then picks it up and is met by the middle of the Spartan offensive or defensive line. And coach, this is a Monte. There's a lot of quality seniors that they're going to be losing, but you've got your starting tight end back, you got your starting running back, you got Turner, you've got 5 other sophomores that have, like Dumphy and company. But they've got to put the work in the offseason. And I think the key thing out of anything, it's not about the X's and O's, and certainly it's about the Jim and the Joes, but it's about discipline.
It's about discipline, and it's about teamwork, and it's about making it about the team, not about making it about myself. And they've got good skill positions coming back. They've got to work on their they've got to get better up front, and guys have got to be willing to play positions that are going to help the team win. It may not be the position they want to play. They've got to be willing to play positions that maybe they don't want to play. But you know what? It's what's best for the team. And if it's going to help the team win, then I need to play those positions. And I think this year they had some situations where guys didn't want to do that. And I think it's you've got to give yourself up for the team because it's about them, not about you.
Congdon getting his reps at quarterback, and it's the first turnover of the game for Monte Vista.
There's a guy who he understood it. He said,
That's why I said his name, to set him
he
up.
Absolutely did. And
Mateo's a great kid,
and he went in head first and really did a nice job, and did anything he could to help the team win.
So 2 minutes left here. I want to thank both coaches in helping us prepare for this game. And the streak will continue. And what we would like to see in the postseason is get a chance for, you've got Pittsburgh, you've got San Ramon, and obviously the Spartans. And all those Spartans have 2 losses. Could you see them not getting the first seed?
No, I can't. I can't see them not getting.
I mean, when we were back in the day when we met and we had the thumb things, we'd all laugh. Just put Bob, because in those, well, just in the later years, but they stopped having the meetings then. It's like Bob would get up and present, and we would all chuckle.
Yeah, just write. Just write your name up there, and you're going to get the number.
And
one
you didn't want to be number 8. You won at least one playoff game where you weren't going to face them.
You can't penalize them for losing to 2 teams that are probably going to be number 1 seeds in their sections.
Yes,
and so for sure they've got a terrific schedule. They play a terrific teams, and the 2 teams that they've lost to, Sarah and St. Mary's of Stockton, was it? I believe. Was it St. Mary's of Stockton they lost to, Coach?
They lost to Orange Lutheran and Sarah.
Excuse me. 2 great teams that are going to be in the playoffs, and you can't hold that against them. So they certainly should be the number 1 seed. And San Ramon obviously played a tough game. A lot will depend next week on, I think Monte Vista can play with San Ramon. They just can't.
Anything can happen in that game.
Don't beat themselves, and it'll be a close game.
They didn't beat themselves tonight with turnovers. I know Mateo just threw the one there, but that's the coaches with their loyalty to that kid giving him a chance to play a little quarterback before it's all over with. The tackle out here in space, Wyatt Eakin, another senior, on that Chirac, the play before, got into the backfield. But then this time they over-penetrate. When you over-penetrate against the Spartans, they're going to run right behind you. If you penetrate with purpose, that's different. And I think we're going to close this one out. And
close it out with a soccer line, our favorite. As they line up like soccer lines.
Oh, I hated those. And then the one time we didn't do it, we got accused that we were going to try to get in a fight. Go, what, are our kids going to throw cell phones at you? So want to thank all of our partners, Ned Milan at Morgan Stanley, Spitz Jewelers, Persevere Lending, American Asphalt. Once again, Parma Deli and Catering. Place means the world to me. In Concord, place to go for a great custom-made sandwich. Cater for all occasions. When planning your perfect day, look no further than Parma Deli. And food lovers beware, Coach. You're in. Ain't no surprise to me. You're in for a tasty surprise. So we'll close out things here from Sam Zakheim Memorial Field, where the Spartans moved to 7-2 with their 31-7 victory over Monte Vista. Our next Monte Vista football game on NorCal Sports TV, Coach, will be next season when I believe the Mustangs host Granada in the season opener. I'm just assuming. Thanks to our partners and viewers that have supported us this season. In Monte Vista, AD Andy Popper and Assistant AD James Bowling. You've been watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by American Asphalt. Thanks to our crew, Rodrigo Donner, Xavier Gerald, surviving the cold. My broadcast partner, Craig Bergman, statistician Dan Jones, Alan Holter with research, and our director, Joseph Yanez. I'm Chris Babcock here in Danville. Good night, and thanks for being on the show. So in order to watch